Alright everybody, so it's been about exactly 2 weeks since we put down the H. indica nematodes. So aside from checking on the honey super and seeing how much progress we made in the honey super, we're also going to check on the beetle traps and see if there's any evidence that the H. indica has reduced our beetle problem at all. Hey! My neighbor just saw me opening up the beehive. She wanted to say hi. Looks like there's already some pretty good activity on the honey super. Woo! You can tell it's a little cooler out right now than it was before. By how crisply that thing popped. And just to show you guys a little bit about what's going on in the honey super. I'm going to take out one of these honey frames. It's looking about as it did in the last video, that same frame. They're capping more of it. I'll do like I did before. I'll show you one of the more populated, or one of the frames that they made more progress in. I saw a big orientation flight happening yesterday, so I thought there would be a lot more bees, and there does seem to be a lot more bees than there were last time, but just not as many as I thought I'd see, or at least not as many as I hoped I'd see. Oh, I got stung. Don't know how that happened. Now, so far I've already been stung twice. I don't know if I caught those on film. But one thing I didn't do that I did last time was I didn't wait for them to finish their orientation flight. So there might be a lot of disoriented bees that are kind of mad. But in this trap, there's about 6 dead beetles. So far, it doesn't seem that the beetle trap, or not the beetle trap, doesn't seem that the nematodes have been successful in preventing any small hive beetles yet. But the instructions and everything you'll read about them will say that it takes about a month for them to reach maximum efficacy. So maybe it's just not there yet. And a little tip for you. When I pried up this frame, I think I angered a bee because it flew at my hive tool and tried to sting the hive tool. And this beetle trap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 or 12 of them are in there. And now I'm just going to take a look at some frames, hopefully find the queen, or at least proof that the queen's alive and well. Ah, got stung on the elbow. Okay then. What I'm gonna have to do is just put some gear on because these bees are stinging me. So, it didn't take long for me to take a few stings already. And I didn't even really, I moved to like 1 frame. So, I put the gear on that I don't like to wear. A lot of these bees came rushing out, and one of them did sting my glove already, at least one of them. But they seem to have a different buzz about them now. So I don't know if they're in like defense mode right now. Wow, that thing's stuck on so hard. wonder one of them stung my glove there. Here at least I can show you a strong brood pattern. I got stung through my glove on my fingertip. Lots of smoke today, and yet the stings keep coming. These bees. I'm using a lot of smoke since I've already taken, holy, there's like stings all through my gloves right now. And there's probably no queen here. Since This is like a honey thing that has no... Well, don't know where the queen is, but regardless, still have to put in traps. Saw a brood of different stages. Take one more look for the queen. See if I can spot her anywhere. Now some of these bees have stung, not these ones particularly in my hands, but this one has. She died stinging me. Anyway, there's another bee that stung me, and another one. Yeah, I don't know what's the deal. They're pretty defensive today. I don't know what to blame for that, because for one thing I interrupted their orientation flight, and secondly, It just rained pretty heavily recently before we opened up the hive. Oops. Oops. Oh shit, that's exactly what happened. Okay. So that was a weird occurrence. As you see, I took my glove off, and you can also see where I got stung. The reason why I took my jacket and veil off is because I didn't realize I left my veil kind of open. And there was a bee in my actual veil. And it was on my face. She was on my face. So I had to get rid of the veil because I didn't know any other way to get rid of the bee that was in the veil. Good job, ladies. Ow, shit. That stung again. Alright, so after 2 weeks, it appears that the nematodes still haven't had an effect yet. I know that we might have to wait a month to really see a good effect, but we'll find out in 2 more weeks, I guess, if they're going to start doing some good for the beehive. In the traps, we're still seeing just as many hive beetles as we have in the past, it seems. Today, the bees were a little more aggressive. There's a bunch of different factors. One could be it just poured down rain pretty heavily before I opened the hive. Another thing is, instead of me waiting for their orientation flight, I just decided to get in there regardless of the orientation flight. So there may have been disoriented bees who still haven't gotten a feel for their surroundings, that don't know what to do, so they decide to sting me. And then the third factor is we took away their sugar syrup because it seemed like they didn't want to touch it. And so I figured they didn't need it because maybe they're finding enough nectar and pollen out there already. But maybe they need more resources, and so they're more defensive of the resources that they already have. That's just speculation. I really don't know. So we'll check on them next week. I'll still go at them with my bare hands and this veil at first to see how defensive they are. I could tell by the way they're acting, they were a little different than usual. They were not as calm. I did not find the queen, but I've seen different stages of brood. And so I still think we have a queen, even though we didn't find her. And if they were queenless, I would think I couldn't be standing here literally within 2 feet of my hive entrance without being repetitively stung. So I believe we still have a queen, or if she did die, her pheromones are still in the hive well enough that the bees aren't completely aggressive yet. So we'll find out next week. So I guess the main point of this video is that after 2 weeks of putting down H. indica nematodes, they don't seem to be effective within 2 weeks. It may have to wait for an entire month before you really start seeing results. Thanks for watching my videos. If you like the way my videos are put together and the quality of them, I have the links to the equipment in the description below, as well as whatever beekeeping materials I use in the episodes usually. So keep an eye out for that, and see you in the next one.